Welcome to Michael Potts F1, everything Formula 1 but from a photographer's point of view. Formula 1 is in summer break. This is an opportunity for teams and drivers to stop work and to head home, complete all those DIY tasks they've been meaning to do all year. This is a great opportunity for us to reflect on how the teams have done over the course of the year. In this series of vlogs, I'd like to focus on each team individually, compare the drivers, see who's performing and who's not. I would like to show you some of my favorite photographs of the year so far and tell you why I think they're special. If you enjoy this content, please do like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel. Today, we're going to be looking at Haas. Climbing from last place in 2021 to 7th in 2022, Haas have really turned things around. Last year, they decided to focus all of their development on the 2022 car. This has allowed them to develop a very strong package. Their season was thrown into disarray in Barcelona testing, where Russia invaded Ukraine. The team cut ties with their Russian title sponsor and fired their Russian driver, bringing back Kevin Magnussen, who had raced previously for the team. They introduced their first major upgrade package of the season in the Hungarian Grand Prix, and they're the first team to follow the Ferrari philosophy rather than the Red Bull one. Kevin Magnussen versus Mick Schumacher. The more experienced Kevin Magnussen has had 5 points finishes, scoring 22 points, versus Mick Schumacher's 2 point scoring finishes and a total of 12 points. However, in races where they've both finished, Mick leads 5-4, but Kevin is outperforming in qualifying, leading 10-3, and he's done better in both sprint races. Mick Schumacher. Mick had a difficult start to the season. All of a sudden, he was up against a teammate who has a lot more experience and is genuinely quick, while Mick comprehensively outperformed Nikita Mazepin in 2021. Neither of the drivers scored a point that year. In a blink of an eye, Mazepin's out and Magnussen's in, and he gets 5th at the opening round, where Mick only finishes 11th. Mick starts overdriving the car, trying to keep up. Huge crashes in Saudi Arabia and Monaco, plus a silly mistake in Miami, and an engine failure in Canada, all deny him the opportunity to score points and strain relationships between him and the team. His best result of the year is 6th in Austria. He's made 3 Q3 appearances, with 6th place in Canada being his best qualifying result. My shot of Mick comes from Barcelona testing. This was taken at dusk at turn 3. You can see the shiny part of the track, that's the racing line. And then towards the edge, they're little balls, little discarded bits of rubber. That's what's called the marbles. If you look closely at the car, on the rear wing is the Russian title sponsor emblazoned. I had thought his 2 points finishes were probably enough to secure his drive for next year. However, recently there have been some noises both from the driver and the team that everyone's looking at their options. A Ferrari move for Mick at this stage doesn't look realistic. They've got 2 drivers on long-term contracts, and in all honesty, Mick hasn't done nearly enough to justify a move to Ferrari. With options closing around him, he really needs a good set of results in the second half of the year to secure his seat. It sounds like the team are going to play a waiting game, probably only re-signing him towards the end of the season, once they're sure there's no other options available. Kevin Magnussen. Magnussen made a shock return to the F1 paddock. After being unceremoniously let go by Haas at the end of 2020, Kevin started showing a bit of the talent that McLaren saw in him back in 2012. His best result was 5th place in the season opener in Bahrain. An engine blowout in Baku, power issues in Monaco, and a couple of crashes in France account for his 3 retirements. Had it not been for a couple of black and orange flags in Canada and Hungary, things could have even been better for him this season. My shot of Kevin is from the Bahrain media pin after the race. This is when he's just scored his 5th place. To put it in context, the last time he got such a good result was in 2018, where he scored 2 5th place finishes. The only time he's had a better result was on his debut in 2014, where he came 2nd at the Australian Grand Prix. You can see the excitement and the joy in his face. This must be the equivalent of driving Formula 1 for the first time. I love seeing the human emotion and the joy, and this is from a guy who's often very, very reserved. Magnussen has a multi-year deal with Haas. He's outperformed expectations for the first half of the year. His main goal must be just to keep doing what he's doing, but to avoid those early collisions. Thank you for watching my review of the Haas F1 team midway through the season. What do you think is going to happen with Mick Schumacher? Will he re-sign with Haas, or will he go somewhere else? And when is Netflix going to give Gunther Steiner his own spin-off series? Better Call Steiner? If you'd like to catch up on my review of the AlphaTauri team, there's a link in the description. Tomorrow we'll review Alfa Romeo. Until then, thank you for watching. Goodbye.